Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article that is from Breitbart that was published on January 4th and is written by John Nolte. So now, according to Nolte, tyrannical Democrats introduce bill to kill Electoral College. Now, this doesn't surprise me because the Electoral College, see, they think they have things in the bag. And the Electoral College, which it's fucked Republicans before, but when they thought that they're fucking the guy who invented the internet and climate change and all that other shit there, Al Gore, deserved to be president, it fucked him. And it fucked him with Hillary. So, maybe it's the fact that people don't like these Clinton associates, whether it's the wife or his VP in other parts of the country. See, so because they can't win by sheer numbers, because the Democrats, they're infamous for this. I mean, there's a lot of shady shit going on with like voting irregularities. Why do you think they're the only party, the only group that doesn't want you to have to show an ID to vote when you need an ID to do pretty much anything these days? Now, if you don't have an ID, how do you drive a car? How do you get a job? How do you do any of these things? Oh, that's right, you can't. See, they don't want to admit that, though. So what they do is they stack the voting. And the only way that they can win stacking the voting, well, more easily win by stacking the voting would be more accurate, is by getting rid of the Electoral College, because it's a fail-safe. That's the whole point of the Electoral College. It's literally there to try to help prevent, large population centers or large voting centers, whether it's legitimate voting or, ballot box stuffing, whatever the case may be, overruling the rest of the country. That was the intent of it. And they don't understand. Majority like that, okay, is mob rule. Mob rule never survives. Desperate to bring the tyranny of the majority to our representative democracy, on the first day, Democrats assumed control of the House of Representatives. Rep. Steve Cohen, Democrat Tennessee, submitted a bill to kill the Electoral College. He's just a sketchy-looking fuck. He looks like a deviant. Like skeletons in the closet that you really don't want out there type of deviant. In two presidential elections since 2000, including the most recent one with Hillary Clinton, in which Hillary Clinton won 2.8 million more votes than her opponent, the winner of the popular vote did not win the election because of this distorting effect of the outdated Electoral College, Cohen said in a press release. No, it's not outdated. Oh my God. If anything, it's needed more now than ever. See, that's what's fucked up. See, the Democrats want you to believe that this is outdated, but the founding fathers were not stupid men. They understood this idea of massive population centers that tend to be liberal and left, okay? Because they had Boston, they had New York City, then they had San Francisco. They had all these cities, like later on with San Francisco. And every time these larger cities popped up, okay, the Electoral College kept things legit and fair so that it wasn't mob rule, so that it wasn't this group of people in one part of the country dictating to the rest of it, which is exactly what they want, because they know that New York City and California, if they just went by sheer fucking numbers, all right, legitimate or otherwise, with their votes, because they are Democrat states, they have a massive advantage, and they want to press that advantage in taking control. Americans expect and deserve the winner of the popular vote to win office. No. That's a new thing with fucking millennials going, I want, gimme, it's her time, glass ceiling, yeah, reeing and screaming. All right, most people want, yeah, sometimes it sucks, but it keeps shit legit. When I was in school, people understood that. I'm 40. Shit. I'm going to be 44 this month to give you an idea. So we're talking 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 20, we'll say even further back, like to 30 years ago, because, junior high, high school. That shit was taught in history. See, this is one of the reasons why they don't have this focus on history anymore. It's because if they did, and civics and all these other things, because if they did, what would happen is people would actually understand why the Electoral College is there, and they wouldn't be able to pull this stupid fucking shit and try to say it's bad. They wouldn't be able to get away with it. More than a century ago, we amended our Constitution to provide for the direct election of U.S. senators. It is past time to directly elect our president and vice president. No. See, no. See, the reason, the founding fathers, all right, I honestly don't agree with the senator thing because people elect dipshits. Because the way it worked originally is the states appointed their senators. And things actually went better. Things worked better. Because the idea of doing a recall of a senator or a recall of back then with members of the House, but more so the Senate because they were appointed, okay? If they were recalled back to their state, shit got done. Now, because they're elected by the people, the states don't want to recall their senators and shit when they're doing stupid fucking shit that doesn't represent their constituents. I mean, I'm kind of against the idea that we vote directly for our senators, but we've been having it for so long. I vote for my senators, but I mean, I understood what the founding fathers were on that idea, and it's no different with the president and vice president. Democrat frustration over losing the presidency when they won the most votes is certainly justified. No, not really, because they should understand how the Electoral College works. It shouldn't be justified. There's no justification for it. They know how the rules of the game are played. Now they're trying to change the rules because they don't like them, because they didn't win, because Hillary didn't have her time. But it's also their own fault. If these triggered snowflakes would get over their red state prejudices and dare to live among us, that influence might flip enough states, but they refuse to. These snobby bigots find middle America icky, so they cower together in coastal and big city bubbles. Yeah, they do that. Like they stick to those big city, like the coasts, and they stick to the cities. But it's more than their own fault. It's definitely their own fault on what the situation they're in, but I don't agree with the reason behind it, I should say. If you will pardon the small digression, never forget that those who claim to believe in global warming also choose to stubbornly live on the very same coasts that are supposed to be underwater already. Very true. Very, very true. Anyway, eliminating the Electoral College is the road to tyranny, which is why Democrats and the media desperately want it eliminated. Well, yes, of course, it's all about control for them. This isn't about the idea of what the people want. This is about the idea of taking advantage of areas that they control with large populations that tend to vote Democrat, and then that are also areas that they tend to stuff ballot boxes and have illegals voting and all that other stuff. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to stack the deck in their favor even more than they already have to an extent. I mean, for a while it was stacked in their favor, and Americans finally woke the fuck up. That's how Trump got elected. That's how you had both houses of Congress in control of Republicans. Trust me, the last place any free person wants to live is in a country where 51% of the population can strip their rights away from the 49%. Yes, exactly. Well said. I couldn't disagree with that at all. There's no way I could, because it's true. Imagine a country where the only way to get elected president is to appeal to the left-wing extremists who live in large population centers, which is exactly what would happen. Yes, that's exactly what would happen. You would only see Democrat rule in this country, and they know this. That's why they want it. In fact, this would be the only way to win the presidency because it would be the easiest, the cheapest as by far as ad buys, getting out the vote. Oh wait, let me start this over. I'm sorry. In fact, this would be the only way to win the presidency because it would be the easiest, the cheapest as far as ad buys, getting out the vote, and that most precious commodity of all time. Campaigns are going to go where the most votes are. Yes. And they would ignore every other place. Because of the careful way it was set up, the Electoral College helps to protect that most important right of all, the right of the minority. By minority, I don't mean racial minority, but those states with minority populations. Yes, exactly. See, because why the fuck should someone in Maine, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Idaho, Montana, places like that, why the hell should they be dictated to by some fucking, wannabe elites that live in New York and California, Boston, places like that? They don't. To cobble together the 270 electoral votes required to win the presidency, candidates are forced to appeal to a broad coalition of states, including states with small populations like Maine, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Nevada, Iowa, and they already have Nevada a second time. So Nevada had to be counted twice or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, so exactly. See, they wouldn't care about any other fucking place. They would just literally, they wouldn't campaign and say New Hampshire. They wouldn't campaign in Montana. They wouldn't go to Iowa. They wouldn't go to any of these places. They would just focus on LA, New York, Boston, maybe Miami, places like that. Seattle, those types of places. Moreover, if a sitting president wants to win re-election, he has to do his best to represent a broad swath of states, to take them seriously. And while this might not work perfectly, it is the best system anyone has been able to come up with. Yes, exactly. See, people don't understand this on the left when it comes to the general population. A lot of them just think it's bad because Trump got elected. They don't understand the whole point of this, because Gen Z is on the way up. Gen Z is the most conservative generation since like World War II or some shit like that. It might be longer, actually. They're going to get to that voting age, and they're going to outvote you fucking millennials. You get rid of the Electoral College, and for a short time, you will have your leftist fucking utopia. And then they're going to get into power. And you want to talk about a fucking swing? It's going to swing so far back that it's going to whiplash you fucking bitches. If you do this, it really will. You will get whiplash from this shit with how bad the swing will be back in the other direction. You don't get that, though. What's more, if the Electoral College goes, the next target will be the U.S. Senate. After Trump and the Republicans managed to hold the Senate in 2018, you heard a lot of media griping about how unfair it is that a state like Wyoming, population 600,000, is represented as equally in the Senate as a New York, population 8.8 million. Well, that was the intent, to have that equal voice by the state in the note of the Senate. See, they don't like that. And they're right. That was brought up. Because they were like, well, how is that fair? It's because that's how the Founding Fathers wrote shit. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Blow it out your ass? Because it's worked well for over 200 years? But again, in their infinite wisdom, the Founding Fathers were obsessed with protecting minority rights, with protecting the rights of the individual states. And so the federal government was deliberately set up that way so that A, the passions of 51% could not easily be fulfilled, and B, every state had some legitimate muscle in the legislative process. Yes, exactly, because even small states should have a fucking say in what's going on. See, they don't want that, because the smaller states, the lower population states, tend to be more conservative. Okay, the more rural the state, the more conservative they are, it tends to be, just in general. And they don't like the fact that conservatives have a voice at all. So they're literally trying to stop conservatives from having a voice, any which way, shape, or form, or any way to exercise their voice and actually have it be heard. See, they want us, regardless of if we're fucking independent, libertarian, conservative, as long as we're not going along with their game, with their spiel, with their shit, they want us to just shut the fuck up and go sit in the corner while they do what the fuck they want. And the only way that they're going to be able to accomplish stuff like that, because ballot box stuffing is only accomplished so much, is by literally changing the rules to benefit them. And they don't realize that people aren't that stupid and can actually see this shit. Or they're just blatant and they don't give a fuck. But when it comes to their constituency, the type of people that they cater to, they're actually too fucking dumbed down to understand that. And if they were to get something like this, like I said, Gen Z comes along when they're a voting age, and as they get older, oh, the pendulum swing is going to be so fucking hard that every one of these fuckers is going to get whiplash. All right, a few of them could end up with broken necks. Oh, fucking idiots. Democrats love to talk about diversity and representation, but still want to kill an ingenious constitution that best ensures both when it comes to who hold power over the rest of us. See, that's the thing, though. They don't want diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, diversity of point of view, or any type of diversity along those lines. They want diversity how they look at it, which is skin color, gender, which they believe there's 70 something now, shit like that. Because deep down inside, they want everyone to think the same. They want them to be mindless fucking automatons, literally regurgitating the same fucking shit, buying into the same propaganda and lies that they're being spoon-fed. That's the only way that they can maintain power. If people on the left actually thought for themselves and didn't buy into the shit that they're spoon-fed, they could be liberal and left all they want, but they would actually look at a lot of the shit that the Democrats propose and go, fuck me, and actually not be for it. But see, because they're spoon-fed everything, they just agree with what they're told. They go, They're told black is white. They go, yep, black is white, black is white. They're told up is down. Yep, up is down. Oh, the North Pole is actually down and the South Pole is actually up. Okay. We haven't had, a pole reversal yet, but yet they would buy into that shit. Anyway, I think I've covered this well enough. Yeah, I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.